Hi, I'm Helen Barrott from Helen Barrett's Designs in Wire. I make wire sculptures predominantly in steel wire and copper, enamel copper wire, predominantly of trees, but not exclusively trees. I'm inspired by natural subjects, so it will usually be trees or plants of some sort, but I also like things that are slightly mystical and unusual. Every one of my trees I try to make identifiable, so it's something that people will have seen in nature themselves. So like this one is an Acer tree, a maple, that you would see at this time of year, these fantastic colours. I started out making wire sculptures as a sort of reaction to our wedding in 2012. In 2012, I decided that when we were going to get married that I would do it on a very, very fine budget of just £1,500 for the whole wedding. Part of that was to make all of the table decorations and the other things that were going to go into the venue. And I made a wish tree, which is a tree that people hang tags on that they've written messages to you for the wedding. And I made it out of green garden wire in a pot full of plaster of Paris, and then I decorated it to match the other wedding decorations and so on. It looked nothing like a real tree. It was completely fantasy style. And a friend of mine messaged me and asked me if I could make a willow tree for her sister as a gift. So I made a fairly sizable willow tree on a mirror, and I spray painted it the colours that she wanted. It was glued onto a mirror, so it was like a table centrepiece. And she was very happy with it, to the point that I recently found out she never actually gave it to her sister. She kept it. She liked it so much. Now this is enamel coated. The marvellous thing about enamel coats is if I'm to make a sculpture for the garden, they stay this colour. They don't change. Raw copper wire will dull, and eventually you might get some verdigris on it. Whereas enamel coated copper wire stays the same. I've got some garden sculptures that have been outside for 3 years in all winds and weathers. They look exactly the same colour now as they did when I made them, which is great, especially for winter. Because if you want something that's got colour in your garden, you can have it there all year round. And in the winter, you've got this beautiful coloured tree that nobody else has got, and it will stay that way. The other wonderful thing about the copper wire is it's flexible. It moves. It's like a tree in the wind, and it's so robust. You can pick it up, you can move it around, you can change it, and it's got life. It's not set in aspic. It is the way it is. It is natural. And this one has been made to commission for somebody who had seen my work at a local sculpture park, and it's for her brother. And it's a specific colour because he's got a tree in this colour and she wanted it this colour. So we worked together to get the form and the colour that she wanted. If you want to see my work in person, come along to Re-Evolution Arts Winter Festival. I'll be bringing along a selection of my work, big and small, for you to have a look at.